Introduction. What I'll explain is crucial to understanding reality, so set aside your preconceived notions and be open-minded. First, what is time? Some see time as a structure of the universe or physical reality. Others disagree but do see time as a necessary framework of human thought. Yet others see time as just a form of human fantasy. I'll get to the bottom of what time truly is and why it matters. But first, what time is not. Is time a physical object? The answer is unanimously understood as no. But can it be legitimately considered part of the physical world outside the realm of molecular matter? For example, light, X-rays, gamma rays, and other forms of electromagnetic radiation. No, since such phenomena are known to be made of identifiable ethereal particles called photons. And time would be nothing akin to dark matter or energy. But could time be a known principle that governs the universe? Well, four fundamental forces describe every interaction in the universe: the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and gravitational force or gravity. This excludes time as a force. In response to the claim that time may be unreal because it's intangible, the existence of dreams was brought up since they're apparently real, yet intangible. Yes, dreams are very real. Yet dreams can be shown by tangible brainwave activity, physical reactions that can be scientifically measured. Clocks and watches supposedly show time's existence by allegedly showing time moving faster at higher elevations, slower at lower elevations. But an easy explanation is that gravity is greater at lower elevations. Thus, gravity simply pushes electronic or mechanical components of clocks or watches at accelerated rates. In fact, everything that exists is known as the same thing wherever in the world it is. Yet when it's said to be 4 p.m. in Houston, Texas, it's said to be 10 p.m. in London, England, 6 a.m. in Beijing, China, and 9 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. They all contradict. Time is not even an instrument, since so-called timepieces, clocks and watches, function as the instruments, which are based on the original instruments, Earth's rotation and revolution, which causes days and seasons. Time travel. Time travel is impossible. Other theories considered impossible were vindicated because nobody could see the future and thus know what would come. But time travel lacks the excuse that it hasn't been discovered yet. Time travelers would have endless chances to appear to us and previous generations. Since they have not, they will not. Then there are time travel paradoxes, logical contradictions associated with the time travel idea. There are two major types. One, causal loops. A future event caused a past event, which itself caused the future event in a perpetual loop. Two, grandfather paradoxes. A future event prevents the occurrence of a past event that caused that future event, which will prevent said past event. To avoid these impossibilities, it's theorized that parallel universes exist in unknown dimensions, which would allow time travel. It's also said that time would be a fourth dimension. But we have zero evidence for any parallel universe or extra dimension beside our three. Taking stock in something without evidence is insane. Therefore, dismiss the notions of superfluous dimensions and time travel. Even something that only exists to describe the absence of something, such as darkness and donut holes, not the air, etc., in the darkness or holes, just the darkness or holes, and only exists while something else, such as light and donuts, exist, can be traveled across. For example, you can travel from light to darkness to light via tunnels and move your fingers across a donut's absent middle. So since quote-unquote time is not even as traversable as non-entities such as darkness and empty space and fails to meet the other criteria, why persist in believing in it? It's not even a necessary framework of human thought, convenient though it is, since thinking in terms of a series of events or chain of causes and effects can be perfectly substituted. Yet some still persist in defending time's existence. For example, time in religion. My noting that time doesn't exist because it is intangible was met with the Christian concepts of love and faith, which, though real, are supposedly intangible. But according to Christianity, they are tangible, since Christian scripture states that God is love. So love is actually embodied in a person. And Hebrews 11:1 states that faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. The assumption there is that faith rests on tangible realities we simply cannot prove at present. The word time's appearance in the Bible does not mean that time, as commonly imagined, exists as any governing principle. A more logical conclusion is that the word time was simply meant to indicate a notable event or used as shorthand for various courses of events. In those usages of the word, I agree. In fact, Scripture indicates that so-called time does not exist for God since he's not subject to events in our world, especially 2 Peter 3:8. Many mistakenly treat that text as a mathematical formula of 1 day equals 1,000 years. But that's not what it means and is faulty use of grammar. Ask any English professor. Besides contradicting the original interpretation as documented. And nowhere in Scripture does it even suggest that God is quote-unquote outside of time. Rather, a logical conclusion is that he's not subject to entropy, that is linear deterioration, as his physical creatures are. And something either exists or it doesn't. Besides, I'll shortly explain why the existence of time, as commonly imagined, would actually oppose Christianity. Stay tuned for part 2.